We call this meeting to order at 9:02 a.m. Darn it, missed it by 2 minutes. I wasn't even looking at the time. Okay, so we'll have an opening prayer by Miss Audrey McQueen, and then Lauren, would you do this in pledge?
Father in heaven, as we come here today, please bless that we could have our lines open and conduct good county business, and that the meeting can go well, and we're thankful for the little moisture we received, and hopefully we can receive more for this great land we live in. And we're thankful for all our many blessings in Christ's name.
I quite religious to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I'd like to welcome everyone here, and we'll now have determination of quorum.
District 1,
Dr. Green here.
District 2,
Audrey McQueen here.
District 3,
Hayden Forward here.
we have a quorum.
Okay. We'll now go on to approval of agenda. Is there any discussion?
Could we combine under financial action items A, B, and C? And I don't know if you want to do E also.
Yeah, so Becky, that's just the regular budget on D. That's just your regular,
Budget adjustment?
Yes.
okay, there's nothing special with that.
No, this one mostly deals with, the road grants that have come in that were not budgeted that I need to budget. So that's basically what this time around is.
Okay. So A, B, C, and D.
Yeah.
Ag. Anything else?
I don't know how we can really combine anything else. Unless you see something.
Yeah. So if there's no further discussion, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion with that.
A second?
It's been motion and second to approve the agenda, which are combining A, B, C, and D. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, approval of minutes, December 17th, 2024 meeting minutes. Is there any discussion? Seeing as there is none, is there a motion to approve those minutes?
We'll see motion.
I guess.
Rookie.
I'll make, you make a motion?
Oh,
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
It's been motion and seconded, all in favor? Aye.
Did you pass these down so you could see them? Okay.
Okay. We'll now open this time for public comment. During this portion of our meeting, we welcome your suggestions and want to hear your concerns. This is not a question and answer period. Speakers will be limited to 3 minutes. The county commission is not able to act on matters discussed during public comment. Speakers are requested to state their name for the record. We'll open it up. Is there anyone for public comment? Okay. All right. We'll roll on. We'll now go to commissioner activities. Would anyone like to start?
I'll start. Mine is very short. We've had good communications with our representative in DC regarding planning for the new administration coming in. Also had discussions with, some of the management of Cattle Growers Association to make sure that the commission understands what their goals are for the new administration that's coming in and for New Mexico legislation. I think we should run in parallel, you know, with a lot of their needs and have a common message. Attended a meeting in Battle that I know that Buster and Audrey will have a lot to comment on, and they primarily drove me. So that's my report.
All right. Okay. My report just follows in line. There's lots of things that's going on within the county right now, and we're looking forward to the new year and hopefully progressing in lots of areas in the manner of the CLLA and hopefully in the county and in the way that we're structured and running. Yeah, I'll let Audrey mainly talk about the WOOF meeting. We also had a meeting with the fire departments and stuff to get their input on the direction that needs to go with fire and EMS, and it felt like it was a really productive meeting and had lots of good input and feedback from that meeting.
I don't know if any of you heard the meeting. I was able to read some notes that Deb was kind enough to send to me, and I agree. The importance of that meeting was just over the top. We desperately needed that.
Right.
That was good information. I don't know if any of you have heard about that meeting too. It has to do with our volunteers. It's important.
Well, and that's the main thing, and hopefully we as a commission can do better this next year, because usually a lot of problems can be solved and a lot of things rectified just by communication. And also there's always misunderstanding and stuff when there isn't communication and we're left to our own thinking. But that's my report.
So there's a lot going on. My report's probably short and sweet, but that meeting went well. There's a lot of ranchers up north that really haven't had the problems that they're going to be facing. So it was productive, and lots of people explained what to do whenever you find depredations and who to call. And then just moving ahead, I know we're planning on going to DC. We're waiting for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife to appoint whoever is going to be appointed in DC so that we can visit with them and really explain our problems that we have down here. And there's just lots going on, but I'd be here all day if I sit here and told you about the whole month of things. So, my report.
Can I add to, Audrey did a good job with that meeting in Battle. The turnout was tremendous, more than I expected, right? And everybody was paying attention, and the I gotta hand it to Audrey. She'll have representatives from Fish and Wildlife there and kind of put them on the spot, make them explain things. And when they're done explaining, Audrey will say, as you can see, we get absolutely no help from Fish and Wildlife.
It was the truth.
It was the truth.
Well, I did have a couple of people tell me, we probably should work in building relationships with those people. They don't understand the history. Like we've went to try to build the relationship.
Yeah.
And
One of them in particular still likes Audrey, and she's very cross-foster with thoughts.
So the county is being blunt with the ranchers and with Fish and Wildlife. Deb was there also and said a few words about management of the CLLA, and appreciate you taking the time to look.
all right. So on Forest Service, Randall, they weren't able to make this meeting. He said that he's going to bring the new reserve ranger to the February meeting. So yeah, so I guess that they've got somebody hired there. And he says that they have permittee meetings all this month, so. That is the Forest Service report. We'll move on to departments. Is there any departments that would like to report here? I know
Go
that,
ahead.
I know we got your reports if you want to add to that.
Yeah, I'd just like to give kudos to the undersheriff, a couple deputies. Over the couple weeks prior to Christmas, there was several, probably about half a dozen thefts of fuel from county equipment parked on the highway. The undersheriff led the investigation on it, brought a couple deputies, surveillance cameras on the equipment, got a time frame of when they were stolen the fuel. Christmas Eve, one of the deputies drove by, caught two guys stole fuel at the same time that had been tickled. They've been arrested, multiple charges been filed down to some drug charges that fuel detector reported a lot of felonies on. So hopefully that goes stop with that. As of today, the undersheriff's off probation. He's been here at his yearly anniversary. I think all the deputies have been here a year except for deputies watching this school come around. Other than that, it's been business as usual.
Awesome.
Deputy Hayes is off of probation?
Yeah, I was gonna fire deputy, but he left town. Well, we're done with him.
So he can collect a paycheck now?
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah. Hey, so, I mean, it probably just the way that it was occurring and things, it was probably the same perpetrators on all the thefts.
it looked like it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right.
Same track, same.
I've got a quick question, if I could. Under the requests for records that you're getting, are those coming through via IPRA requests or just people knocking on the door?
Well, we, like for our traffic reports and stuff like that, we have a form that we send to them, and then they're also
Okay,
a little bit of both. More just through the door.
okay. And financially, is it becoming a burden at all?
I don't,
Okay,
it's just a matter of time.
yeah, well, yeah,
Usually on the traffic report, it's 30 seconds. We email it to them.
so, okay. All right, thank you.
We haven't had any other requests filed, any big ones.
Okay, and I just bring it up because I know we have a line item. We got, if I remember right, $60,000 from Gail Armstrong.
It's called the Jerome Grant, and it was identified mostly for upfront.
Right.
In fact, Becky and I talked to Greg Whitehead's guy standing on that. Grant, what's his,
Gary. Gary.
Gary, like it, over at GRC, and, we're supposed to meet with them again tomorrow, Friday, as well. Moving forward.
Oh, okay, so there is a line item there, Sheriff, if for some reason you get overwhelmed with IPRA. And hopefully the legislation is gonna start correcting that this year. Okay,
And you do, there is a policy that they need to follow for requests. There's forms they have to fill out. And I believe it actually should come to the commission office.
It's on the website.
Okay, so that we're aware of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and all our day-to-day requests that we get is the Celtic wells and past.
All right. And then, so next department? Yes, ma'am.
So, Deb Mahler, CLLA. So in January, so it's only 8th, I've already processed 22 depredation claims. So, 14 of those were 3 months or older. Okay, so, a lot of what we ran into were, W-9s are not on file. These people were reaching out saying, where's my money? So by the time, and they were submitted far before November when I took over. So some of these depredations were from June of last term. So we do have 13 injury claims going to the CLLA board on the 17th. So those are from John Richardson. Some of those are from 23 that were just never processed. So anyway, so we're quite busy just catching up on things that have not been done.
Okay, so I got just a couple of quick questions. So the emails that you're sending right now, they're from Sierra Code. So you're still having to go underneath Sierra County until Socorro does the JPA, right? Is that?
She has an email from Catherine.
So I have both, and it really
okay.
depends where I'm at, because the computer that I have was assigned to me from Sierra County. And so if I'm on that computer, it defaults to that email. So is that what the email address?
Yeah.
So I have both. So if I'm logged in on my Catherine County email, it'll show up that way. My preference is to use a Catherine.
Okay, good deal. No, and it was of no consequence and nothing. It just, I don't know, something about Sierra leaving a bad taste in my mouth right now.
And it does with a lot of the ranchers, so that's why I prefer to use the Catherine County, because they will actually say, are you from the good county of?
But am I correct in understanding once Socorro County, or once all the JPAs are signed, we still need to wait for the state to approve the transfer?
Correct. So the NMDA has to approve the JPAs. So there's still, I was told by Dr. Ebert that that's going to be 2 to 3 months. So Sierra County is supposed to send, so once the JPAs are signed, Sierra County has to send a closeout report of the funds spent to NMDA. NMDA has to approve that, and then they will transfer the money to Catherine at that.
Okay. All right. And I know you're willing, and perhaps we'll need to at some point even send you to Sierra County and help them complete the documents.
I'm not, I'm more than willing, but I'm not sure legally if I can do any of that. Kind of tamper with their reports from the NMDA.
To look over their shoulder and say, is it done yet? Is it done yet?
You can certainly assist. You're not signing off on the final one, but yeah, you can always assist.
Yeah. And I'm happy to do so. Especially if it speeds up the process.
You want to share that real quick? We didn't, huh? I want to share it with everybody.
All right.
We just got unfortunate news. And so it's probably going to bring everybody down into let's just show the picture.
Well, I just got the text, but no, it looks like there was a wolf killed on the highway. Well,
So,
a moment of silence.
yeah,
Tire tracks, what I can see.
When's the memorial service?
I know. So anyway, we just
Right
thought,
out of gas.
Is there a call?
Which
So-
time?
There was a collar on it.
There really?
I'm gonna
Which
find out
time?
which.
so it's on the road going from here to Dattle, and yeah. So
I'll find out what, I'll call later on today and find it. Do you know what it is, Keith? Do you know what path or anything?
It's obviously a female wolf because it's got a pink collar on it.
right.
Mhm.
So anyway, sorry about that, but just thought we'd share it. Some sad news. All right. Next department.
DWI,
Yes, ma'am.
the county, and the program finished up, we had 5 DWI arrests in 2024. And as we look ahead to FY 26, which we're preparing our grant for now, major changes are coming to the DWI programs, including a dramatic decrease in funding. During the pandemic, the liquor sales soared, but since they have decreased and now they're below what they were pre-pandemic. And we are thinking that is because of the cannabis sales, and we get no excise tax off that. That is its own little program. But as far as the excise tax on liquor for the DWI programs, it's decreasing, and it's decreasing fast. So we are not going to have near the funding we did.
Are we talking 50% decrease or 10%?
Talking about probably 25%. Sure.
Okay.
It hit Berkeley about for $500,000 in there. In the early spring, the administrative office of the courts will be taking over pretrial services. And for the county, this means that anybody that's assigned to pretrial services from our court over here in magistrate or district court will now report to support. You will not have a local person here to drug test them. You will not have a local person here to oversee them. It will all be centralized out of support. So that's in the process. And currently I'm preparing the second quarter reporting period. And to complete this, I requested a report from the finance director. And in reviewing the report, I identified several issues. Bills are either still being paid late or not at all, despite prior assurances that this would be resolved. There's an entry on my electric bills. One of them got paid twice. Then we didn't pay any electric bills till October, and they paid no electric bills for me for November, December. And it's my understanding on December 28th, the county reportedly had to scramble to make the payment on the electric company, so your electric would get turned on. These inconsistencies are concerning for several reasons. The impacting on reporting the DWI program quarterly reports are forwarded to the EFA, and they need to include timely, accurate expenses. My program manager has already questioned why these utility expenses aren't monthly, why we have one in August and then we don't have one till October. They look at the report we send. They go item by item to make sure what we're asking for money, that we really have spent it and it's being handled fiscally responsibly. The delays and inaccuracies in payments directly affect the program's ability to spend the allocated funds responsibly. For example, the DWI program is required to use current year funding for current year expenses and not prior year bills. Well, that didn't happen this year. Your 2024 fiscal year reporting, the bills were not closed out properly. There are numerous bills on my 2025 reports that should have been in 2024. If DFA does an audit, they will ask for that money back. My program bureau chief is very, very adamant that we only spend money in the fiscal year that we receive it on expenses during that fiscal year. They don't want it crossed over. Another challenge is they're wanting us to budget. They want us to budget to spend out every dime that we have because the legislature is asking why the DWI programs are not spending their money. When I don't have an accurate report as far as how much money I have, it's hard to spend it down. We're now halfway through 50% done. We should know how much money we have left to spend so we can go forward and spend it, because in April they're going to shut off the purchasing and then we can't spend it. And then we'll be stuck sending money back to them again, and again we will be dinged for that. This issue isn't just with the DWI program. It affects every department in this county. Late payments, the county's reputation on paying their bills late, it affects the county's reputation. It results in unnecessary late fees. Where does the money come from these late fees? Because it better not be coming out of my funding. It's not my responsibility that the bills aren't paid on time. That is not improving anything as far as DWI. Where's the money come from? And it hinders financial planning and year-end reporting. As a governmental agency, it is essential that the bills are paid promptly and accurately. Today, the Commission will be signing a statement of assurance affirming that the DWI program funds will be handled properly. This includes timely payments of expenses. DFA receives and reviews these reports, and the ongoing delays raise concerns about the county's financial management. I urge the Commission to address this matter promptly and work towards a solution to ensure the bills are paid on time and with accuracy. As I said, this is not just a DWI program. It's a county-wide issue that affects the effectiveness and integrity of all departments.
Request. Yes, and then hand that to you. Go ahead.
Just a quick question. Does your department have any invoices large enough where you submit POs to vendors?
I do, but I have not been using the bills that I'm seeing that aren't paid on timely basis are my utility bills. I have not done any POs this
Okay.
quarter at all.
Okay.
Thank you.
So besides the utility bills, can you give us other examples of bills that have been left unpaid?
To me, it's just the utility bills because my budget is so small that I don't have excess money to spend. My FOIL bills, during the first quarter, my FOIL bills were not in a timely manner, and that is on appeal. Yes.
Right.
So, two quick questions.
Yes,
So you've been doing this a long time. What have you seen the trend in DWIs? Is it going down? Or is it like, I mean, is there, because you said liquor sales were up in the
no, liquor
pandemic.
sale.
No, in the pandemic. So I'm wondering,
During that time,
does it kind of
same.
follow?
Well,
the
when the
trend?
liquor sales was up during the pandemic, everybody was locked up and we didn't see a lot of DWIs because everybody was drinking at home. What we've seen is the alcoholism and alcohol-related illnesses and diseases increase.
Right.
So now that it's falling, I think we are going to see that the drug recognition officers are going to be busier with the marijuana type stops than the alcohol.
Right.
So right now, there is a trend in most counties that DWIs are going down, yes.
Okay, so in relation to that, why? Because isn't marijuana, you can still cite somebody for driving under the influence, right?
Right,
So why are those two programs not tied together?
because there's no excise tax on marijuana, because marijuana is still not a legal drug by the federal government. So any taxes, I don't know if there's taxes on marijuana in the state. I think there is, and they're using those for, I believe it's education schools regarding marijuana, but they are not offering any of that money to the DWI programs as far as treatment or screening or counseling, any of that. We do not get any of that. This is
Okay.
all just excise tax removal.
Okay. So last question, and this is just for our information as a commission, like, and so this is all departments. So this is kind of for you and Becky so that we know here. So when a department says, I don't know how much money I'm spending, does each individual department, don't they track what they buy and what they spend?
I will be addressing that in my report.
Okay, because it seems to me like each department should be tracking that,
That falls on me.
all of that.
It falls on me.
Why is it not tracked inter-department first and then you should be the secondary?
Because those bills go directly to accounts payable. The departments never see. I never see my bills.
Okay,
The departments don't see invoices, they don't see bills, they don't see any of that, it comes straight to accounts
Okay.
payable.
this is just so that
Yeah.
so that we can gain
But I-
knowledge on
I-
that. So,
Are you,
Yes,
are you done? Okay, my report's gonna be a little bit longer than I thought.
okay, that's all right.
So, to address the finance thing, whatever, Debbie is correct. As finance director, on a monthly basis, I am supposed to issue each department an updated sheet, their budget, showing what their expenditures are up to that point, what they've got encumbered, and what they have left over. That's how it should be happening. I cannot do that. I'm doing it. It's not accurate. I don't feel comfortable giving them these reports because they're not accurate. And it's because it's so far behind that if I say, if I give out the sheet and it says, let's say you have $10,000 in office supplies to spend and you spend that, and then the next month all these late bills are getting paid, and now it's put you into 20,000, so you're 10,000 in the hole, actually, because you really didn't have that 10,000. This is what's happened. It's a struggle. It's an issue. It needs to be addressed, and it needs to be fixed. Because it's affecting my job now, and I'm just the kind of person, I don't like that. I want my stuff to be on time. I want it to be as accurate as possible. Right now, we're at the 6-month mark. I should be able to give you a report for 6 months in, saying where everybody is at. So right now, my 6-month report is all the departments are basically doing really good at this point right here, because they've only expended maybe 30 to 40% of their budget. However, I know that's not accurate. So by next month's meeting, I'm hoping to give a more accurate report even to the departments so they know where they're at. This month, I'm having to start on next year's budget. So in order for me to get true numbers of where we need to be on the budget, I have to have true numbers. And so, which brings me to my next thing is that I am going to plant this seed with you because I will be requesting it. Because of the way things are going, and I can't get the accuracy that I need, I am going to be at a future meeting asking for the commission to entertain the thought of letting me freeze the 401 budgets. In other words, for next fiscal year, every department will keep the same budget they had for this year until we can get a grasp on what's really happening here. The only department that may have to have more is sheriffs, because they use a lot more, they do a lot more stuff, fuel and all that kind of stuff. But for the other departments that are coming out of 401, I will be requesting that the budgets be frozen. So in other words, they're going to use the same budget amount that they used last year.
Right.
So all I can tell you, it's very frustrating. It's an issue, and I just feel like I'm banging my head against the wall, and I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? I'm at a standstill. I can't move forward. I'm not going to go backwards, and I just, it's an issue and it needs to be dealt with. On a good note, the one budget that's been expended, 97%, is the sheriff's LEPF fund, that's good news because they've encumbered another vehicle. That fund is restricted money, and it needs to be expended every year. It shouldn't have a carryover, and for the last few years, there's always been a carryover due to miscommunication and everything else. DFA said this last year to me that if you keep having these carryovers, you're not going to get the money anymore. So they had expended it with another vehicle, so that's good news. So they can continue on getting that the law enforcement protection fund. So that money will still be there. So
Right.
That was, but yeah. So other than that, I don't have anything.
Can you help us understand what kind of support you need to more accurately understand the expenses and the line item actual?
I'm being put in a position here that I'm not comfortable with, so I'm just going to put that out there to you. I'm not comfortable answering this question.
Okay, don't answer it now then.
It needs to be answered, but it's,
If you prefer to
as I
answer it,
told you, there's issues and they need to be dealt with.
We have a personnel issue that we would like to discuss, and
okay, yeah, if you prefer to
Yeah,
go through Lauren privately, that's fine. Yeah, okay,
He knows my concerns.
okay.
All right. Anyone else? Tracy, we got your email, but yeah, if you
I got
want to
some more
tell
stuff
us.
here
Good
too.
deal.
wondered if you passed those.
So December, I attended the New Mexico Cattle Growers meetings. I just rotated off the board of directors of the Cattle Growers Association. I've done 2 rounds. Actually, I've been on the board of directors like 4, 5, 6 times, and you can do a 2-year stint. You rotate back and forth on there. So felt very fortunate over the years to be able to get some of our issues and concerns, addressed, at a broader level than just here at the county or wherever. So on that note, we will be hosting a Calaveras regional meeting here April 10th. So if you want to put that on your calendars, be a, board member or not, or Calaveras member or not, be a really good opportunity to come here legislative wrap up. So there'll be everything that's happened in Everville that got passed and all that kind of stuff will be up for discussion. And as most of you know now, Calaveras side, Tom Patterson's president-elect. So we have a local person that's going to be, the point on all that legislative work. So give us an update. We'll also do some type of educational program for ranchers and others as part of that meeting as well. So it'll be a good meeting.
So do you know what time and place will it be out there?
Most likely start at 10. We don't have all that stuff ironed out yet, but be a meal and all that. So last year we actually did basically the same meeting, and we ended up with a snowstorm on that day and had about 70 people in attendance. Our RSVP numbers were well over 100 that meeting for. So anyway, that's kind of the update on that side. December's also our.
Can you give us a definition of what snowstorm means?
Yeah.
Do we actually get those?
We got one that day.
Ah, okay.
So it was kind of wild, but some of the folks coming from Sapporo that day actually get close to a foot of snow across the BLA and somewhere here.
Next one we see, we'll take pictures,
Yes.
so we'll remember.
On December as well, we start our reporting process, and what you have in front of you is an example of some of the reports that we do. So these are, as they state at the top there, an impact report written on specific things we do. And so if you go, like your top page should be beef cattle education. The lion's share of that particular report is stuff that we did at that meeting. So it'll be programs and projects that we did as far as the educational side of that meeting. There's one in here on some steer schools. I do livestock judging. I put on about 4 livestock judging contests around the state for, gosh, upwards of 500-600 kids. What's another one in there? The AI and drug testing school is another one in there. On that note, I just recently went through the process to get certified. I have all my certifications for AI and threat testing now. And part of why we were doing that is that particular educational program. We're trying to teach people how to do that process. And our political atmosphere in New Mexico goes out of their way to make it where you can't be an AI or threat testing technician. The regulatory restrictions on that are immense. And so I wanted to go through that process myself. So I have a little better understanding of trying to teach that to people how to navigate it. So anyway, that honestly, it's taken me 8-9 months to go through that stuff and get that done. And then the annual recertification is another line. That's that one. But anyway, the last one there is Ranch Days. Most of you know what Ranch Days is. I actually do a program at Ranch Days, but more importantly, I help Marge coordinate all the speakers and find speakers and do all the stuff to help her make that the wonderful program that it is and has been. So again, just kind of a quick update. If you go through there, you've got any questions on any of those, or if you see something in there that you would like to see broader or done differently or something like that, sure, let me know as well. But like I said, this kind of starts our reporting period. These we do basically in December, and January we're actually completing all the rest of our reports for the year. We're on a January to December rotation now. For years and years we were on a October 1 to September 30th rotation. And as you know, that's fair season and everything else, so it's always a nightmare to get all this stuff accomplished. So now that we're on a January to December, it's a lot better deal. It lets us have a little more downtime that we can actually get some of this stuff. So anyway, that's my report. There's something else. I don't know of any other. I haven't had anybody contact me wolf related wise that I haven't sent your direction, but
So, what's the status of the shoot, the turn and change?
I've got to get it, you. I'm on it.
That's the status.
I just been spoiled.
I just want to get that order.
Look at this road now.
Will do.
We want to make sure we get that.
I'll get with you this week, but send me that, because I'm not even sure which one you've done, and that's what I need to check. And make sure to do with me.
I'll text you that info right now so you can look at it.
Okay.
So I know the welder's been out there at the school up at Kamado and getting corrals
pins
done
and
there.
stuff.
Yeah,
No, I was involved in that a little bit on the front end. And I knew they kind of encumbered their money, but they never did give me feedback on what they actually spent, so.
so they have a chute, all kinds of panels, building corrals, so, yeah, it looks like it's coming along pretty decent.
So I start, in fact, next week I'll be at Kamado Schools doing some livestock judging practice. I'm coaching the FFA livestock judging team.
Right, good.
So I'll start in on that next week, and so I'll get a bird's eye view. I'll track down the seeds. But for those of you that are not aware, they have some monies. Kamado School has some vocational money, and they elected to invest it in a small cattle working facility as part of their ag farm. And this thing will be really positive for our community. We got guys with 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 or 10 bulls that need trick tested or semen tested. This is going to be a facility that they can haul those to and do them right there where the vet can do them in one place, and educational opportunity. So the kids in the class can come down there and watch the vet do that, have that feedback back and forth. I think it's going to be a good deal where it's all other.
Yep. Yeah, you might, I haven't walked down there and looked over it good. You might, when you get up there, maybe look over things and make sure that things are kind of putting up where it's operational. Because sometimes, depending, I don't know who's doing the welding, sometimes if somebody hasn't worked cattle a lot, they can put up a corral that they think is going to be functional. And
Sure.
yeah,
We tried to help them kind of with the layout to buy the materials. I was under the impression pretty much it was all going to be modular and turnkey, so welding brings the red flag.
right,
So we don't want to be welding.
right.
Every welder needs to be chased by a fat mama cow trying to kill him. Anyhow,
All right. It's kind of pretty still for your.
No, thank you. And thank you for your,
If I can help with them.
okay. All right, any other departments?
The fire chiefs, I guess, are just mainly waiting to hear what we decide on that position.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be discussing those things. Okay, so, yes, it's down to you, Mr. Christian.
Okay, it's been fairly recent, we had a meeting, so not a whole lot. The community centers are progressing. The one up at Kamado, we're trying to get a building ordered or finalizing between 2 or 3 different companies right now. We did get 4 of those little cubicle, portable sort of cargo containers from the state that we got pretty inexpensive within the budget. And Blaine's going to go up and haul down for the community center. Go on. Those will be coming soon. I've already heard about the wolf issue and the grants with DOT. A lot of close out those grants that we were concerned about closing out by December 31st, having closed out. We spent all the money from those on York and Crosby and those projects. Got that money coming to the county. The airport AWAS system, we should have a report on that next commission meeting. We're gonna have a meeting in the next couple of weeks with all the entities about purchasing the weather flying system. Let's see. There's the county's legislative conference, and several of our individuals from the county are gonna be up in Santa Fe the week of the 20th for different classes and meeting legislators and stuff. I plan to be there for at least 2 days of that. Our meet and greet has been moved to March 6th, which is the day before state basketball starts. I talked to you about that already, but there were some other scheduling conflicts, both with the legislature and with the other counties. So March 6th at, La Ponte and
What time?
probably 6 o'clock.
Are you still going to accept businesses to have booths?
Yes, we're working through the details, how many tables each of the precincts get right now. Angela Rael, the good thing this year is the South Central COG out of Tier C is kind of organizing most of this for us. We're gonna still do the gift bags and that sort of thing with somebody here in Catherine County. But, the planning and details on that's going to the COG this time. So, okay, they're helping all three of us. We had a meeting 2 days ago, or Monday. So, okay, those 2 days. Good. I get with you on details. Let's see. EMS
There are
building.
locker rooms with that, or that.
What was that?
You have locker rooms set?
We do. In fact, I need to know how many of individuals need to be part of that block and for how many nights. Okay.
One night.
Just the night again, then? Okay. Yes. I'll get with you. I set aside, I asked them for acreage for Scotland County. They started with that. Not knowing how many we have. The boiler down at the courthouse, the new boiler is up and running, but we had another break, so the hallways and the restrooms are cold, very cold, and we have, someone, Jerry, has got a contractor that works on those systems coming out to try to get that repaired as quickly as possible. So if you hear anything about restrooms and hallways at the courthouse, so as offices, it's my understanding, have heat. So, pretty important trial coming up here pretty soon. I think in their trial in the next 2 weeks.
It's been making.
Oh, or is
Those start, I think.
all right.
That might be a good thing. At least all people would only go to the restroom if they really have to.
Right, so if we were joking.
Save one.
It's pretty chilly. You know, you got a problem when there's ice in the boiler. So, let's see, I was starting to address EMS billing. We've had, I've mentioned this before, we've had at least 5 people contact our office and say they were sent to collections after an ambulance ride. One of those was Sharon Ramil several months ago from an incident quite some time ago. But Vicki Shriver has agreed to come on board as a casual employee. In fact, we meet tomorrow, and she is going to try to catch us up on all the billing that wasn't submitted accurately over the last 6 or 8 months. And I think everybody's pretty happy about that.
So will she go through everything here with that?
No,
No.
that's a whole.
Okay.
John, I've got the files of the actual report. She will go through some of this, make sure that with the company, the third-party billing company has got the proper information and trying to get those accounts straightened out. So, looking forward to that being caught. Well, if you have any questions for me, but I think that's about all I got right now.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to financial action items. First will be A, B, and C, revenue report, payroll, and check register. Oh, and D, budget adjustment. Is there any discussion? Seems as there is none, is there a motion? A motion.
I'll second.
It's been motioned that we approve A, B, C, and D. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Moving on to E, approval purchase of pickup for the sheriff's department. Is there any discussion? Seems as there is none, is there a motion?
Motion, we approve it.
I'll second.
It's been motioned and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Consideration of memorandum of
Maybe Debbie
yep.
can tell us if we can.
Debbie, on these, do we need to separate them or?
No, you can
on-
approve A, B, and C all. You just all need to be for being on.
Okay, as far as any discussion on any of them, is there anything in particular that,
No, just the statement of assurances, I just have to be aware of, that when you sign, we are, they are expected to follow the rules. Other than that, they're just paperwork we have to sign, get approved every year from the county.
Yes, ma'am.
Accepting the fiscal agent for the DWI.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So if there's no further discussion, is there a motion on A, B, and C?
I'll motion.
Second.
It's been motioned and second that we approve A, B, and C. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Moving on to D, Resolution 38, 2025, appointment of chairperson and vice chairperson of the Catherine County Commission. Is there any discussion?
I just say we leave it as it is, it's functioning board. Can we motion just for the vice and the chair to stay the same?
I think Buster's done a good job as chairman, and I'll second that.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Audrey. It's been motioned and seconded that we leave things as they are. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Who is the vice chairman?
These next documents, the next two are just the standard beginning of the year. Reapproving the Open Meetings Act and then the policy and resolution for inspection of public records.
Okay,
The Open Meetings Act is when you set your date and time for your meetings, so if you want to remain the same, it's adopted as is.
is everybody happy with your second Wednesday?
I am.
Mhm. Now that works. So, okay, so if there's no further discussion on resolution E and F. If there's no further discussion, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
It's been motioned and seconded that we pass E and F. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 41, 2025, establishing employee work hours and paid holidays for 2025. There may be just some discussion on this. So we'll open the floor for discussion.
You have two different lists. You don't have to go with either one of these. You can establish the holidays, much like the discussion last year. We ran into a little bit of a difficulty with especially the roads department and the way they submitted their billing, but I think we got that straightened out as far as days off. Most of the employees were glad to have a block of extra time at Christmas. But Christmas this year is later in the week, Thursday. That spring break that's listed on one of the two options is Good Friday. There was a lot of discussion about that last year as far as being a day off for employees.
So 41 and
But we wouldn't need as many
25.
days off on Christmas the way it's falling, right?
Right, so if you,
So don't you think
Oh,
we
yeah,
should add
okay.
that Good Friday back in there?
I do.
So there's, and then we have the secondary.
I think it's a good idea to have the Good Friday holiday. It's mid-spring. But if you still take the federal holidays from January and February and add them later, it's holidays.
It doesn't give us many. So which one, so last year, I know we had a discussion, which one follows basically what? the
Neither
state-
one of these is exactly like that, so
Neither one of these
it's
is-
close. If you look at the one that lists spring break, Friday, April 18th,
Right,
and then go down to, where is it? Gotta find it. Get glasses that help. Where Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday observed is Wednesday, December 24th for half a day. That's similar to what we did this year. Half a day for employees on Christmas Eve day, unless you chose to give the full day. And then Thursday is Christmas, Friday, Columbus Day observed. That gives a 5-day week, or 4.5-day weekend, and employees wanted to take off all of Christmas Eve, they could take a vacation, so first.
Yeah, it was 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
So you're calling spring break is Good Friday?
Yes. These are just the standard, templates that Adrian was able to send to us just as a starting. Last year, we had a lot of discussion about that Juneteenth. It's not recognized by the county at this time, was not, but I don't know if that's thing. So each of these two is 10 days total.
Adrian,
Sir.
is there some feedback that you might have on this?
I mean, not necessarily, you have the state's memo, right?
Yes.
As well, is this document. Packet. So this memo is what the state of New Mexico, is what the state of New Mexico does. And
Like- Okay, so I did not, can you hand that?
It's running to us.
so that is basically the state and federal holidays schedule is that. Again, the county has the ability to add holidays or make no holidays. I mean, the Board of County Commissioners can add or subtract or change around. Again, as Lauren discussed, one version in front of you is more similar to what you adopted last year. And then another version that's open is more similar to the traditional holiday schedule that Catherine has followed based on the state schedule. Either way, I think it's probably important to, let's make sure we have it right and go through, and I can make changes as we go, but let's list out exactly what we've got and what we want.
So basically, the second schedule that we have would follow more on the state line with the exemption of the Juneteenth.
Correct. All of the options are open.
What if we took Juneteenth out of there, but put Good Friday in?
I would be for that, because I would rather have it Friday than Wednesday in the
Yeah.
middle of the week. Right. So, I think that that's a good suggestion that Audrey had. So basically, the second one with the addition of Good Friday.
So let me just pull that up and make sure we've got.
If we could go through the list, one
Might be a good idea.
Okay,
We'll call it spring break. Good Friday.
right,
That would be good.
yeah, so it'd be here.
The one you're calling the second one, Buster, is the one right now that starts with Memorial Day, but we would have Good Friday back in there for spring break.
Yeah, so we would not be going off the,
I think he wants to know which one you're looking at.
we're looking at the second one.
What starts
No half
with
days.
Memorial Day, but we want to add spring break back into that, correct?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But wait, so this is one, so an element of discussion right here. So this would be 11 days, which would match what the state is doing. But I'm wondering if
You can do 11 days, but you're wanting to remove the Juneteenth from that time frame, and you want to plug that in as spring break.
yes,
And then this one,
He's talking about the state one.
I'll go ahead, there's nothing on New Year's Eve day. If we took what is called Juneteenth and gave half of that to New Year's Eve and half of that to New Year or Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve.
right.
That
So
would come
do,
out to 11.
yeah, and that might be better for everybody on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
So
Well, it doesn't give us, the Good Friday.
It's already on here, isn't it? It says spring break.
Not on the second.
Yeah, so we would add the second, so on the second one.
Yep.
We would be adding, so it would be as is, but we would be adding, half day for Good Friday, April 18th, and a half day for New Year's Eve.
Half day for Good Friday or a full?
I mean, you don't have to just divide up holidays. You can add an extra holiday or subtract an extra holiday and not to divide up. It doesn't have to match the states. So it's really,
My recommendation would be to give Good Friday as a full day if you're gonna do it.
So just to confirm, what we're looking at when we say the second one, that is the one that has 10 line items on.
Right.
it's the one that the first holiday is Memorial Day.
Yes.
Yes, that's the second.
So we're going to add to that list.
Yes.
We're working on
Okay.
that list. And I've got it in front of me.
All right.
So,
April 18th, Good Friday.
seems good to me. It's still totally 11, which matches the state. I know.
What you could do is add a full day for Good Friday, and if employees wish to take Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve off, they use their time for that, and we just work to make sure that we're open and covered. We have very low traffic those days.
Right.
Very.
Right. Okay. Unless
You
you
use to add as an additional day, you get half a day in each of those.
What if we give a whole day on Good Friday and then,
Let me throw one more monkey wrench in. I don't know what Reserve Schools does, but in the past, the Reserve Schools and my older last district, we came to work on Veterans Day and celebrated Veterans Day in-house. Some different activities and parade. That'll be another day split to half a day for some signatures. If you wanted to keep the total the same. It's a little larger than
I mean, it's a deal with that. So it's not on this list. So it's on the other one,
Yeah.
but it's not on this list.
And
So
that would put us to the 11 days.
Yes.
I think we need our whole would be 11 days. Yeah, so it's half a day of New Year's Eve. Right. We're at 11.
So, as of the second list, Adrian, and then add half a day for Good Friday, April 18th, and add half a day for New Year's Eve. And then if somebody wants to figure out time or whatever, they would have to do it early first and find it.
So quick stop there is a lot.
Yeah. So not,
Well, we're giving them half a day on Christmas. The idea here is we're going to hold to the same amount of days that the state has for days off. So the best option we think we have is Christmas Eve off, half a day Christmas Eve, and then half a day on Good Friday.
Okay.
Right? That works.
Christmas Eve or New Year's?
Christmas.
Okay, you can't say so.
yeah, my fault. So
All right, so
Christmas
New
Eve,
Year's Eve day is a work day.
Yes.
But if they choose to take off, that would be their own day. That's
yeah,
Let me just go through it really quick, make sure we're all on the same page.
yep,
Final one. Okay, so first, it's Good Friday, Friday, April 18th, 2025, half day.
right,
And then half day means second half.
Yes.
yes,
Memorial Day, Monday, May 26th. Independence Day, Friday, July 4th. Labor Day, Monday, September 1st. Indigenous Peoples' Day, Monday, October 13th. Veterans Day, Tuesday, November 11th. Thanksgiving Day, Thursday, November 27th. President's Day observed is the day after Thanksgiving, Friday, November 28th. Christmas Eve, Wednesday, December 24th is half day. Martin Luther King Day observed is Friday, December 26th. That's the day after Christmas.
Yep.
And then New Year's Day, January 1st.
That's it.
Okay.
Christmas.
Well, Christmas Day, Thursday, December 25th.
Yes.
Got it.
That's the day after.
Yeah.
Should be. Okay, so if there's no further discussion, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the list as just stated.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been motion and second that we approve the calendar list as stated. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 42, 2025, designation of financial institution, bank depository. Is there any discussion? This is just renewing that, right? There's no changes?
Right, it's a signature, so it basically just stays the same as it is right now. This is for the treasurer's office, yeah.
This is to recognize where we can invest our funds, which is the state investment pool or First State Bank, it's a local bank within the county.
Right. If there's no further discussion, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion, we approve resolution 42-2025.
I'll second.
It's been motion approved. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 43-2025, delegation of authority to county manager to enter into certain contract settlement agreements in recognition that the manager is the lawful custodian of county property.
Super Square Meeting.
This, this is, Mr. Chairman, is the amount that you authorize the manager to approve without commission approval in case you need a settlement agreement or a purchase. Currently, it is $20,000 for procurement and $10,000 for legal settlements. Those amounts could be increased or decreased. Some counties go to the small purchase limit, which is $59,000. Some counties say $5,000, that's it. It's really up to you and to the manager of how to most efficiently work through the county while being transparent and having things also come to the commission.
I feel like leave it as it is.
Yeah, we had lots of discussion on this, and yeah, I'm happy with the way it is.
Okay. Seeing as there's no further discussion, is there a motion?
I'll motion.
Been motioned
I'll second.
and seconded that we leave it as it is now. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 44-2025, public participation at Catron County meetings.
And Mr. Chairman, this is where basically you authorize public comment. And again, a board does not have to have any public comment. It is the board's meeting. But if you have public comment, it has to be open to whatever the public wants to say. You know, if they want to say horrible things or nice things.
Yep.
And to set the time period is currently set at 3 minutes. You have the ability to change that. The only small change I've made on this particular one is it used to say you're only you can only speak one time, no rebuttals allowed. I took out the terms no rebuttals because it confused people. I mean, if someone wants to stand up and address the last thing that somebody else said, they can. So
As long as it's
as long
on
as
there.
they only do it
3
once and
minutes.
within 3 minutes. So that was just confusing language, I think.
But that would be a rebuttal to the other speaker, not,
That's right. It could be you can rebut the other speaker, but then that guy doesn't get to go again.
yeah, okay. And you took that out.
I did, yeah.
So no rebuttals?
No, you're allowed to talk about whatever you want. So if you want to rebut the last guy's statement, that's fine, but the last guy doesn't get to come back.
Okay.
Right, so you wouldn't, nobody would get to go twice.
No one gets to go twice.
Right.
That's really what it comes down to.
Okay. All right. Is there any further discussion?
No. I'll motion.
I'll second.
It's been motioned second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 45-2025, Parliamentary Procedures and Robert Rules of Order. This is just, any discussion? This is just saying that we follow that, right?
Correct. It's saying that you use it as a guide, but it's not the law. You know, if somebody misses some technical aspect of Robert's rules, it doesn't invalidate your actions. So it's a guide, but really what it comes down to is the chairman controls.
Okay.
If there are no changes.
If there's no further discussion, is there a motion?
Make that motion.
I'll second.
Been motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 46, 2025, signature authority on county checks and deposit boxes. Everything stays the same.
That this chairman is, under the law, only the chairman can sign checks, the treasurer. This board has traditionally delegated the ability to all three
Yes,
to sign checks. And if you'd like to continue with that, then that's what you do.
definitely.
I've got a signature stamp in there. Okay.
So if we're just leaving it the same, we can just motion to leave it as is, right?
Right. Just a motion to approve.
Okay. See, there's no further discussion.
I'll make the motion, we approve it.
I'll second.
It's been motion and seconds, all in favor? Aye. Resolution 47, 2025, opposing abuse of Antiquities Act.
Ah, yes. Is this one mine, Adrian?
It is yours, sir.
Okay.
So, the counties are getting together in New Mexico and they would like to pass resolutions that will not allow the, president's office through executive order to establish national monuments at any size that he wishes. But it does allow the president to reduce the size of national monuments. Is that correct, Adrian?
That's what it's requesting, yes.
So I'm recommending that we try to attempt to put restraints on national monuments being identified just through executive orders.
Definitely.
I'm in definite agreement. Okay. Seeing as there's no further discussion, is there a motion?
I'll second.
It's been motion and seconded, all in favor? Aye. Resolution 48, 2025, providing for the fair and efficient manner of purchasing tangible personal property and services in Catron County, establishing an effective date and penalties. Is there any discussion?
This is a big one, Adrian.
This is fine.
It's the procurement code.
Okay.
Procurement policy.
It's the procurement policy, and I don't know if you have the whole package or not, but basically.
Yes, we do.
Okay, so basically, page 19,
Okay.
what we're looking at, page 19, into 20. And so right now we have, on our procurement forms, we have, $0 to $1,999 for best obtainable price. And then from 2,000 to 10,000 is 3 books.
From 2,000 to 10,000
From 2,000 to 10,000, I believe you have.
is
What I'm asking for to be considered is, sorry, I see my thing here. And this is to, actually it's 2,000 to 9,999.9. So what I'm asking for is to take it from $0 to $4,999.98. And then do the 3 quotes from from 5,000 to 9,999. The reason I'm asking this is because it just to, it follows along the state guidelines, and it's just basically to give a better flow to the fire departments and EMS because of all the medical stuff they buy and everything. It's with the prices now getting higher, it's crazy for them to have to go out and try to get quotes for medicine or whatever because it's over $1,000, it's over the $2,000 mark.
Right.
So basically it's pretty much with them in mind. And I would like to request that right now we have it that anything under $250, you do not have to request it, you know? I would like to request that be moved to $500 and let us know, you know? And I know that might be an issue, Hayden, because of what's we've discussed. So if that one doesn't go, I mean, if that one doesn't fly, I'm okay with that too, but I really would like to see the other two changed, because those you still would have to have POs with.
It seems like right now for our best efficiency in paying invoices on time, POs need to be attached. So I believe we need to.
So we leave that the same.
At 250.
Okay, so the motion would be to leave that at 250,
Can I
change.
Can I say something here?
Yeah.
So the other option is if you truly want a PO attached to everything, then you get rid of the 250 and you just state POs for every purchase has to have a PO.
Yeah, I think that's a little over the top, particularly if you're buying $50 worth of food for some reason.
Right.
You
Right.
know, you
I mean, there are entities out there
Or fuel.
there are entities out there that do get, I mean, when the departments, if they spend $10, they get a PO, and that's just to cover themselves.
Yeah, I don't think we need to burden,
Okay,
we don't want to burden them with that. As long as they get in the habit of line items being attached. What line item to take the small purchase out of.
Well, we already had a discussion about that, as far as,
so this is gonna have to be a discussion at the fire chief's meeting. It'll have to be an open discussion, because at that point, what you're asking is that anytime that they make a purchase, whoever they make the purchase, the vendor they make the purchase for, they need to relate to that vendor, please put this line item
No.
on invoice.
When they sign for it, they just write the line item under their signature.
But they already, okay, I'm confused, sign for what?
If somebody purchases fuel, don't they have to sign for it and we get a copy of that?
Yes, and and for the fuel, they usually do write a line item.
Okay,
Yeah, that's pretty much good.
If
So
somebody,
the thing of it is your departments don't see the invoices, so they can't write a line item on the invoice. It comes directly to us,
Right.
okay?
yeah, you're not quite getting what, this is a discussion for another
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay,
So the motion would be to approve with, the first staying at 250, and then the next, best price being moved to 0 to 499, or it really,
$4,999.
yeah, it would really be,
it's what they have in there.
Yeah.
So I think we just need to, right?
oh, so the changes have been put in.
You already have the changes in here?
Yes,
Just
yeah,
approve
they
that.
put it in there.
Okay, we
so
just approved.
approving as is.
Except for if you don't want to do the 500, I'll have to take that out.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, I'll make the motion. Well,
Okay,
kind of got what we're doing here.
all right,
So this is 48, 20, 25? Yeah.
yes.
So I'll make a motion that we approve 48-2025 with the change of requiring a purchase order on items $250 and above.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been motioned and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Discussion to staff regarding having county contracted trappers for health, safety, and welfare of Catherine County. I thought that we
Did this.
had done this.
So we did, and now like we're just behind, we're way behind because now the guy that was interested in it isn't interested. He doesn't, after that meeting the other night, he doesn't want to draw heat to himself. And so I want to get this done. We have to get some samples and stuff so that when we go to DC,
Yeah,
we have a leg to stand on. It's very important.
yeah.
And so with money issues and everything else, I was just gonna see if if we had just say somebody had the insurance and everything and we contracted with them, and it can be multiple people. Like, if this would work, if they had the insurance and they were contracting, we can write the contract for a penny, whatever, they don't, not necessarily paying them, but just so they are like going through the county so that we would be able to use samples and stuff. Cause we've gotta get somebody trapping, and it can't just be, like, I can't just go out and trap and then bring a sample in, cause it's not gonna be, I don't think they're gonna do that. They'll be like, well, where did you get it? And there's no agency saying they trapped it. And so, but we've gotta get this going somehow.
Well, I guess, let me ask, just talk through do you know of people that are willing to go ahead and just bring in samples?
So I had multiple people talk with me after the meeting and ask me how they would do that. I would think that taking a picture of the animal, time and date, and drawing a blood sample,
And a location, let one.
yeah,
GPS location
Yeah.
if possible.
and turning it in. But here's the one thing that I'm wondering, Adrian, when you can, so like, information, and I don't know how best to go about this. So like, as a government organization, if we send that in, the results can be sequestered by, just like a IPRA, right? So they can pull. If we send it in as a private individual, those results can't be sequestered, but we can't use those as evidence for the county. Is that right? Or
So you could still use them as evidence. Let me see if I can get where you're getting at really quick.
so I'll put it in blunt terms since
Yeah.
we're just here.
Sure.
Say a private individual catches what he thinks is a coyote, draws blood on it. We send the blood in, and it ends up it's a purebred Mexican gray wolf. He has no idea. He's thinking it's a coyote.
We're gonna get cited for a tape.
We're going to get cited for a tape. So I'm just trying to find the best way to avoid an honest mistake by someone. Does that make sense? So if we got blood from a private individual who thinks that they trapped a coyote, draws blood off of it, we send it off. That's why I'm trying to see what's the best avenue for us. Because we have people that are willing to take samples and bring them in. You know, if they're, and it's like I told them, you know, usually you can tell if it's like full blood, little mangy coyote, or if you're thinking, man, it looks like a coyote, just looks like it's a little different.
Well, maybe
Blood.
let me throw this out here just a different way to
Yeah.
look at it. You know, we're really just talking about, we're talking about using the evidence later on. That's an important aspect of it.
Right.
And that evidence, the best way, obviously the best way we can do it is to have a county trapper who is trained on a certain protocol, and one person doing it is probably the best way for evidence. But with that said, that doesn't mean that person's evidence can't be challenged. You can challenge any evidence. That doesn't mean it's good or bad. Another way to do it would be to say, you know what, Catron County will, we're doing a call to the public for coyote, for properly trapped coyote samples, and if you would like to turn them into us, this is what we're going to use it. This is what we're checking, and these are the protocols. And as long as they follow those simple protocols, which would be take pictures. What do you call it? GPS, lat long, date, time, and that sort of thing. Fill out the form and submit it. We could accept those. There's no reason we can't accept it from everybody.
Can that sample be taken with like a skin sample versus blood? That's gonna be a big piece of that puzzle. I think you could put that word out and say, okay, we want to collect samples on coyotes.
They can do it with
But we need to have
they They can do it with
a
hair.
hair sample or like your cattle deal, they're doing a center punch of the ear, whatever the case is like that. I think that's and it's not got a life cycle, like a blood card. Blood's if it's too old, it won't, you know what I mean? You create a whole bunch of other issues. But I would research what you need for the lab you're thinking you want to use and then back that up and we can create a document that says, we're willing to take these samples,
I think that makes.
with this information and collect it from the public. I think you could get it. But make sure you're working backwards, that the sample you're getting will get you what you want and that it's a reasonable, simple sample to take. And for example, it can sit on the seat of the pickup for a week before they bring it in here.
And most DNA testing companies now can take it from just about, anything. They can use old blood, they can use hair, they can use.
That guy, there's the one that's doing it, just needs a hair sample in a paper bag.
Okay, so
There you go.
let me throw this out for idea or thought. So the guy that we were thinking of is not interested. We've allocated that money. Would it be appropriate? Because it would help cover fuel expense and everything else in getting us the sample. Why don't we turn that money over and we say, we'll pay for this sample as long as there's a photo, a location, and the sample. And basically, so
I think as long as we make it clear that you're trapping coyotes and it's consistent with new law, whatever the name of that law is,
right.
then you can pay a bounty.
Well, and then,
Pay a bounty.
Yeah.
And meet those criteria.
don't we have to make sure it's within a certain location so we don't get coyotes from Wyoming,
Yeah, you could
trying
make
to collect.
set whatever.
Well, they have to, yeah, they have
Your
to,
Latin should.
Picture and.
yeah, they have to provide the GPS coordinates and it has to be within Captain
If
County.
they meet these criteria, then we will
Yeah.
pay X amount for a sample.
Right.
If we could, maybe Adrian could draft just a basic form that the person's filling out, name, address, location, and affirming that they trapped it at this location, and then an envelope that we put the sample in, much like we do a colon, sample and then ship it in.
Because
If we did that and we just paid $50 for every sample brought in that's done right, and we would get some, and it's gonna help us too. That's gonna eliminate some predators and we'll get kind of samples.
The downside of it is, which it's not much of a downside, but the downside is, if we need those samples, if we need to prove those samples up in court at some time, it's, then you have to wrangle all the people in to testify ultimately. So it's a little bit harder to get the evidence in, but it's still valid evidence.
We just probably have a form, like whenever they bring it in, they sign it, that they brought this in. And that way we have a name with every sample, so that if it is, we have it, and they've signed something that said they would come in and test.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, that is our $50 option.
but here's,
Until you die, you can steal it and you can shoot them too. I mean, there's nothing like the,
No, they can shoot them
They
or
can
trap
shoot 'em or
them,
trap
they can call them and shoot them.
however they want to do it.
but here's the one thing, and I want to protect our citizens. How could we do it? Yeah, and I don't know if we'd have to pay twice. And the reason why I pay twice, what I'm talking about is to the lab. So we send it in as an individual, and then we send it in as the county.
You'd only send it in once.
I know, but the one thing that I want to
I
avoid,
see what you're saying.
the
I know
one thing
that-
I
know what
want
you're
to
saying.
avoid is us sending it in. The guy thinks it's a coyote, we think it's a coyote. They send it in, the lab goes, this is a full-blood Mexican wolf. And then they submit an IPRA for all of our testing, and they come back and they say, this one that was submitted here is a full-blood Mexican wolf. And it has the guy's signature, has the guy's name, and the time and day, and he gets charged with the take. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to protect somebody from an honest mistake.
Yeah, but I think if someone kills something and they're like, oh, you can tell the difference.
and Lauren had a good point, but then I'll get Lauren's point. Lauren's point was, they get it, you can have a prepaid envelope, send it in on your own and bring back the results. Now the problem, I think that reason that is, it's not a bad idea, but it doesn't necessarily work, and for two reasons. One, that we're even making the evidence a little bit further out, but more importantly, I'm gonna say this: people are gonna have to be on their toes about it, because if you send in, a full-blood Mexican wolf to a lab, the lab is going to turn you in. They have an obligation to turn in if they find that you committed a crime, right? They're going to rat you out anyway. So you just kind of, people just have to be on their toes.
They take a picture of this animal and they bring it to whoever's gonna check this in. You can tell in a picture if that's a wolf or not.
So who's gonna check in? Sean, you?
I'm not doing it.
No, but I mean, there needs to be somebody that knows.
To possibly avoid all this, if we had a trapper that we could hire, would we still go that path?
I would love to hire a trapper. We'll get to that here in just a second, but if we had one, they could do the checking and the sending of samples and stuff.
Yeah.
But we need to, we are dragging our feet and we can't.
I mean, we should have had a trapper 2 months ago.
It's dry conditions. It's excellent trapping conditions right now. And if it starts raining and snowing, trapping is out.
So, have you guys heard the name Lloyd Lenbeck? He's out of Las Vegas and traps all over the state. Well, all over the southern state, for the state. He primarily traps lions. I feel pretty confident we could probably hire this guy and have him. Last name is Lenbeck, Lendbeck, Lenbeck.
There's some.
And I'll contact him today if you want.
Ronnie is Bill Nelson. Is he still with Wildlife Services?
He is, and I just guess I've been visit the talk and moving around about the county hiring crowd. I've been zero about that.
Was he interested at all?
He said he'd be willing to look at it. Part of the problem with Wildlife Services right now, they're scared to death of them. And so they haven't been allowing Billy to trap most of the winters because they're afraid that he's going to catch a wolf, and Billy refuses to get back into their program guidelines and checking his traps every 2 hours, keep freezing off the toe. It's just ridiculous. He's not going to do it. So the winter's been kind of mild. He told me the other night that they finally, his agency finally opened it back up where he can go back to trapping. He's having to use number 2 traps, which he still catches wolf in. The wolf people, I don't think are aware of that. So everybody's happy. Whether Billy would be willing to leave Wildlife Services and come to work directly for the county or not, the suggestion that I would have is to get with Billy and his boss. He's already got ranches all over the county signed up where he's trapping on the deeded ground. I seriously doubt that Billy would have an issue with taking a sample off the coyotes that he's catching and turning them over to the county.
So maybe we could talk to John Grant and down through there and see if Wildlife Services could give us samples too.
And even if it would be legal, I mean, we could pay him a bounty on the deal.
Does we currently have a contract with Wildlife Services?
Yes.
Yes.
That's part of their job, supposed to be doing that. Supposed to be doing that. That's part of been my argument all along. We pay them and all they do is wolf. They should be doing prairie dog work. They should be doing all these other potential options, and you're not getting your money's worth.
Well, and the way they're set up, they've got people that are specific to the wolf program, and then like Billy, he's not on the wolf program. He catches a wolf because it's Bill Nelson. He's trapped in wolf country.
But he's not assigned to the wolf program. His primary deal is to catch coyotes. His
His agency for not letting him go.
So, you know, I think all this stuff is good ideas and we need to pursue that.
I'm going
But in the meantime, we need to start getting samples in. We need to hire a dang trapper. It should have happened 2 months ago.
So I would, if we could get this out like today,
Yeah.
tomorrow at the latest, like fly the job so that, cause who knows, we might get somebody awesome or, you know, like,
Yeah.
let's see if we can get this hired. It's gotta happen.
So I guess the question is, a legal question, if Lloyd Lenbeck says, yeah, I'll work for you, can we just write a contract with him? Or do we have to post a position?
As long as it's under I mean, we can do it in an hour if it's under the manager's authority and under the contracting amount for the procurement policy that you just did.
So
You would just say the contract is limited to, what did we just do?
So the manager's authority,
$4,999, right? And that doesn't mean we can't renew it later, but
no, I think manager's authority to sign a contract is 10,000.
right, but what is the small purchasing before going out rebid?
Oh, so this would be this is, okay.
We're gonna have to fly it.
So, I mean, that authority for 5,000 and under, we could have a contract, a 2-week contract that keeps repeating. You know, just so we can move ahead with it.
Well, what we would do would be this, we would do a small contract, right? And then, in the so we could have a small contract, again, we could have one in 20 minutes here. But then for the second one, we would then, at least ask 3 people, 3 bids, and then we can do it up to the next amount. And so you can continue with that contract. We couldn't just keep making a $4,099, $4,099, but it's easy to get the 3, theoretically easy to get the 3 bids. But we can enter under the $499 instantly.
One of the bids, technically, they could say, I can't do it.
Yep, that's right. So
that's just not give them, they're not, like the one that's not interested.
Yep.
Counts.
So the other side of this problem is you can hire this guy tomorrow, but if he can only trap on private land, he's got to go develop all these relationships with private landowners to even get them their ranch.
Okay, so that's my next question. And I know that,
You know as well as I do, how many,
like, Adrian's not
that's gonna take a period of time and or guidance from someone to get that guy in that door. Or you're just spinning.
Yeah,
But
so like, I think that, and I mean, I know that Adrian's not gonna like this, but we're a government entity. And government entities can trap on public ground. And you take Billy McCarty's right here, and you take, as soon as you leave the store and go up maybe 1/4 of a mile, you're on forest. And that would be trapping for the health, safety, welfare of the county set on forest right there. Now, do you want to go 50 miles out in the middle of the forest and trap? Probably not. But for trapping for the health, safety, welfare of the county, I think we absolutely can trap on public ground, and we need to.
It's not for the health, remember the law is what's messed up here. It's not for the health, safety, and welfare of the county. It's for protection of human.
And I think that's what you gotta
So
do.
wouldn't it fall into it?
If you can articulate it, but is this trapper going to want to put himself at risk of going to jail? I would.
Yeah, and he's not an employee of the county. And
Like, the thing is we've gotta take a stand. Like, all these damn rules, like, if we abide in the rules, why can't we do it? Like, we're cowering to all their crap.
But Adrian told us last month we'll lose in court.
Well, the problem is the trapper's gonna go to jail.
Yeah.
Do you think that if he goes and traps on that Forest Service ground that's like within a mile of our school for coyotes, and then he ends up catching a wolf on that, where they're gonna do something? Like, who's gonna argue that?
You're a Democrat? Yes.
So, it's in my opinion, that I think, they're welcome to any part of my private family. I think we're gonna have a bunch of people in the county that are
I
gonna
think
say,
so.
please
what
come,
I'm trying to say
please
is
come
that
trap.
and it's gonna take, you give this guy a 2-week contract, he ain't gonna have.
But I-
happen.
But
I
I think
think-
this room would probably have
but-
8 or 10 parcels of property that they could be.
But I think that word of mouth, I really think that in a matter of 2 days, we could get that guy more access than he would have time to do. Say, I don't remember what we allocated, but say we gave somebody $5,000 a month
It's 30.
and plus, so we
30,000.
allocated 30,000, but say we
Including the
gave,
cost of.
say we gave somebody $5,000 a month to go trap and just hammer for 2 months, and then we also do a public bounty.
And wildlife
and do a-
services, we're gonna have some.
And do a public bounty, like we'll have samples, but it needs to happen like right now.
Yeah, no,
and
like
then-
we're behind.
That
Yes.
part of that 30,000 though includes the price of the, testing, the DNA testing.
Right.
So there, but
We're
there's,
saying we're 10,000 for a couple months for a guy
Yeah.
trapping to
Yeah.
try to get evidence to go to Santa Fe, and say another 10,000 for bounty. That's a bunch of animals.
It sounds to me like you're almost gonna have to make this person an employee. As a contractor, what contractor's gonna take on that risk? I mean, if you're expecting me, and I'm just thinking to myself, if I'm fixing to retire and I wanna go do this, if I'm gonna take on that risk of getting sued and taking in $5,000, ain't even gonna pay me to start my legal fees above what I've got an insurance policy on. So you're gonna need to have, that person's gonna have some protection from you guys as a temporary occasional employee or whatever you wanna call it, but I don't think you could do what you're asking on a contract basis and get what you're
And then we have to have, so doing a part-time employee, then we have to have a vehicle. We have a vehicle.
You can pay them, but your money's gonna be eaten up fast out of operating them and all that stuff too. I'm just saying, looking at what you're after, I don't see, personally, I don't see how by the time I pay an insurance policy and you pay me $5,000 to go do this, that I'm gonna, one, be able to make any money, and two, if I get sued at all, I don't have any, every bit of money I made plus is gone to fight that.
Our
in court,
county
and I have no
insurance
support.
Coverage. Or.
I like going back to
We
the
keep
idea of
it in
keeping.
private.
Yeah, just do a bounty.
Do a bounty. I like the idea of keeping it simple.
Yeah.
And just, for right now, just not hire anyone. Or we might have to hire a temp that just takes the samples, where they bring this, that takes in samples.
I'm sure that somebody could do that.
I would bet under that bounty / data collection, you can kill more coyotes with your money than any other bet.
I think so.
And I even think that we consider, because you were thinking 50 with the price of fuel and everything. I don't know. Because the guy,
What did we allocate?
we're discussing 30,000,
If you guys,
but that included the testing.
if we didn't hire anybody, so we're just paying that. You put $100 bounty on a coyote, look at these shed hunters out here. People are gonna be driving around shooting.
No?
So what,
Shooting your horses.
what,
Because yeah, you can make $500.
how much
You
for
need
the
to find
final test?
The DNA test, the DNA test is gonna be about 150 a test.
So,
Okay.
because $100, that would be,
And we wouldn't
for
send,
100 coyotes, that's 10,000, right?
we're not gonna send every coyote to the lab. We need
Right.
the bigger ones.
But
you
they
know.
have to take a picture, they have to do a location. But $100, that makes it worth people's while.
I think they would be out.
I agree. Ian.
I'll be here tomorrow.
yeah,
Yeah.
30,000 divided by 250. That's only 120. Is that right?
No, so just
30,000 divided by
100.
Yeah, but it's
250 for the DNA.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
how
and,
people
but
go
we
with
would
opinions.
be selective on what we send,
Because you're gonna.
looking at the pictures and stuff.
Okay, so divided by.
The thing is like
that's
we've
300.
we've got like a couple of month window here where it's gonna be
Do we
good.
have separate?
And so we
funds
should-
allocated for DNA?
We should, or, no, it's the
We
30,000.
allocated the 30,000.
So, yeah, so
And you say it, but see, all we have to do, if we send in 50 samples and we get 3 positive hits,
That's all we need.
that's all we need.
if 50
And then-
samples
and then we
is enough. to
And
get
then we
by.
suspend it.
Yeah.
Start and end date, maybe. start and end date so that you can,
Yeah,
you can control it?
First,
Start the
first
5th,
hundred or whatever.
do the 15th of January to,
15th of May.
Let's just do
I
it.
know if you, I mean, as far as a bounty, if you put that out there, I know people right now that are gonna be hitting the hills.
They're gonna be calling,
It's not a bounty. Don't call it a bounty. It's a sample,
Yeah,
right,
sample collecting.
yeah. But if you pay $100 a head,
Terminology.
you're willing to pay $100 a head, there's gonna be people, like I said, hitting the hills.
no, and that's what we've gotta have, we've gotta have.
I have another question
Motivated.
for the sheriff.
Yep,
Keith,
Yeah.
Keith and Artie, we have a question for you. If we do this and we have some kind of package, if we use our deputies as they're out, if someone called and said, I've got a sample up here, data.
Absolutely.
That's what I figured, but we're just, I want to check.
Is it a conflict of interest for a county employee to go out and do this?
so that's part of it. So we'll have that.
Ask it for a friend. Ask for a friend. Seriously, is it a
How many
conflict of
personal
interest
leave forms can I sign?
for a county employee to go out and do this?
no,
You know, and.
no, they're doing a
and-
service, they're bringing sound.
So, and I would think signed by who? So in order to acquire the reward for the sample, or however we're gonna word it, it would have to be picture of the animal, location, hair sample, and a signature that you're validating.
That you're validating and you're willing to testify in court.
And so it would have to be those things. But yeah,
Air sample.
I like that.
So you need to develop that form and
Yeah.
to make sure it's all that stuff.
right.
And
I think this is our best
it's
option.
$100. But Audrey, do you really think that, 50 or 60 samples will give us what we want?
Yeah, because, I mean, you can tell a coyote. I've tracked a lot, so like, and I've seen, like, whenever you stretch them and stuff, the ones that are about that much longer on a board than what a normal coyote is, those are the ones we want to send in.
Okay.
Stuff with different coloring, stuff with blocky looking heads, and so.
So what do they have to turn in? That's the other question.
Let me call Cronin, the lab, to make dang sure how he wants it.
Years or.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So for example, if you notch the ear, then you've got a physical piece that you can use.
It might be like a notch of an ear. I'll call him and
And then call us and, so the commission just does direction for the manager to implement a sample collection program. We can get the policy out after we hear back.
Need to
from
notch both ears so they can't turn in the same kind.
whatever it
Yes,
is.
there you go.
Yeah.
Two notches, 2 ear tips off each one
yeah.
is a sample.
In the old days when they did that bounty, didn't they have to turn in both ears?
Yes.
Yeah.
When the sportsman's was doing their deal too, you gotta turn technically for the.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, we could do that.
People do it for less money.
It probably makes sense to turn in,
Yeah, let's just have them turn in both ears. That way,
that way yeah.
Well,
We
she's
aren't
gonna,
getting
they're
double.
gonna check though and see if that's sufficient.
no, but we should turn in both ears, because
I
like you said,
understand, but
You
I
don't
mean,
want
someone will be
double.
trying to.
One
we need a
one
bigger
coyote will be
sample.
2.
yeah,
I'll call. I do think even regardless, even if it's just a few hairs on it, turn both
My
ears.
next question is, how many personal leave forms do I sign in a day?
So
that's right. So,
if it's all right with you, we will work the motion. I want to say this needs to be done within 7 days.
That's fine with me.
Okay.
We gotta get on this.
This motion does.
next month, Keith is gonna be in here and be like, we had 5 DWIs, 200 coyote kills.
How many dollars?
By our sheriff employees.
Hey, whatever works.
Yep, so we could put a deal on it, and it could be, we could say to the first 150 coyotes.
We'll say until funds are exhausted as determined by the county.
Okay, perfect.
Well, what if we got like super killer and he brings in 50,
Yay,
but they're
I think
from the same area.
yay.
You're not getting a sample of the entire county. They're just getting 1 year.
Yeah, but it's helping the county.
It's gonna
There's,
be,
yeah, many areas. Right.
yep,
Motion.
you bet.
I make a motion to direct staff to implement a sample collection program for wolf DNA and submit to the commission for
Coyote DNA.
for
It has.
Yeah, strike that, strike that.
coyote
Strike-
DNA that we hope has wolf DNA in it. For coyote
Or Kyle.
DNA and submit to commission for approval within 7 days.
And then could we, and I keep talking, can we like put it out on the website and then on this marquee sign, they contact county for samples on coyotes? It pays just something on the marquee so people will see it?
The way you worded that is submit to commission for approval. So are we having a special meeting again, or?
You can submit it separately to us. We can comment.
Days.
Well, Adrian, how would we need?
Not legally, not
Okay, Adrian, how do we need to do this so that basically we're passing it now?
You're just saying, you're giving the manager the authority to go with it. That's all you gotta do.
But it has to be complete within 7 days. Finished.
Yeah, that's a different thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
let's bring it back.
So instead of, can I
Can you just write it for me?
the last, yeah, here.
Direct staff to end.
Let me see how it's.
I will consult with certain individuals.
Right,
to
a
make
new
sure
one.
the way it's worded.
Direct.
Yes.
Okay,
You've
The
already got
motion would be to give Lauren,
Implement.
Adrian, the motion would be to give Lauren
Submit.
the
to commission
authority
for
to
approval within
implement
7 days.
the program
Direct the manager to implement a
reward program,
no, a sample
a
collection
sample collection
program
program. So,
within 7 days.
Yeah,
yep,
we got it.
okay. A coyote sample collection program.
Got it.
Okay. Is there a second?
Very span-
I will second that.
It's been motioned and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And that is it. Motion, oh, no, consideration of memorandum of understanding with cooperating agency. Oh, yeah, this gives me a bad taste.
So that MOU,
Mexican
that I think the county,
I know.
I think the county signed on about 4 years ago with that. Now, to date, we haven't got a damn thing out of it. But we do have a different administration, maybe we give it another year and see if we can do something with it. I went to like 4 meetings now, meetings and all over the place. We don't even have a vote, all we know is like what there's, you know, we get a little information of like how many they're cross-fostering on us and that kind of stuff, but you know, we can wait and see it another year and see if, you know, it's good, but
Last time I talked to Adrian about it, because I was also frustrated. And Adrian said, you know, as long as you're part of the MOU, they can't stop you from coming to the meetings and you got a seat at the table
right,
and you can communicate.
then you know a little bit more of what's going on. That's about all we're getting out of it.
And with the new administration, when we go to DC, we can say, look,
We've signed up.
we've got an MOU here and we're being ignored.
Okay. All right. Is there any,
So, no.
okay,
I'll
is
make
there a motion?
That we have signed on to the MOU for Stingray Wolf Management again.
I will second.
It's been motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion and roll call vote to recess regular session, go into executive session that pursuant to New Mexico State Statute, section 10-15-1 to 10-15-14. Only the following matters will be discussed in closed session. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded at 10:56 a.m. Roll call vote.
District 1,
Buster Green, aye.
District 2,
Audrey McLean.
District 3,
Forward, aye.
Would be good.
Yes.
Question, like, thank you.
6. Okay, it's recording.
That's 95%.
I was told 95, but
We're not gonna take any action on that, so you can, I'll give it a little. Okay. All right, can I begin?
sure.
Motion and vote to reconvene regular session, please. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
And Madam Clerk needs to call the roll.
12:34. Okay, roll call. District 1,
Oh, wait a minute. Come out at 12:34.
12:34. District 1, absent.
Yes, ma'am.
District 2,
Not yet. Just here. Just, yeah.
here, okay. District 3,
Hayden forward. Yay.
yay. Okay.
Okay, motion and roll call vote, that matters discussed in closed session were limited to those specified in motion for closure, and that no final action was taken as per New Mexico statute section 10:15:1 to 10:15:4. Roll call vote, or a motion, please.
District 1, absent. District 2,
No action taken.
District 3,
Hayden forward, no action taken.
time being
Time now is 12:35.
12:35. Okay.
Okay, under action items, continue. Discussion to staff regarding the emergency manager / fire administration staffing. Do I have any discussion on that topic? Do I have a motion to direct staff regarding the emergency manager fire administration staff?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. And that's actually,
It's the motion.
it is direction to staff
To pursue
to
the
pursue-
hiring of a emergency fire and emergency manager, administrator.
2 positions or 1?
One.
1 position.
what, though it's the fire managers / emergency manager. Not administrator, what is it?
He's an
Fire.
administrator.
Administrator?
Yeah, so
Okay.
does the administration, right? But obviously,
Okay,
Okay. And
Right.
your second?
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
We will take no action on item B.
Okay.
And unless we have other business, next commission meeting is slated for Wednesday, February the 12th. Madam Clerk, do we need a motion to identify that meeting?
No, but you need a motion to adjourn.
Okay, so I'll move on to adjourn. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Time being?
All in favor?
Aye.
12:38.
12:38. We are adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
want to take advantage of those things.
And you get your, and you get the almond lip.
So this one isn't a motion?
Roll call for that.
Which one? For the,
No, it's just, that's what it is.
yeah, the adjourn is the motion that's to know that.
So they just,
In the minute.
I just put that there.
I don't know why she put that there.
This one. I didn't know if this.
All right, so why don't you give us some time to
Stop, yeah.
I'm gonna get all